Did you know there's a village in Russia where every single resident vanished overnight, leaving their dinner still warm on the table? No signs of struggle, no footprints in the snow, no goodbyes, just silence. The place was called Kirovsk 37, a forgotten settlement hidden deep within the frozen forests of Siberia, a name erased from most modern maps. But decades ago, it was home to 93 people, farmers, families, children who played outside in the snow. Then, one night in 1959, they were all gone. When the snowstorm cleared, a Soviet rescue team was sent to check on the village. They arrived expecting tragedy, starvation, maybe disease. Instead, what they found was something no training could prepare them for. Every house looked frozen in time. Plates sat on tables with half-eaten bread. A pot of soup still simmered on the stove, its surface turned to ice. Chairs were tipped over, doors left open, fires burning low in their hearths, as if people had simply stood up and walked away in the middle of dinner. But there were no footprints in the snow. Not a single track leading away from the homes. Even the animals were gone. The cows, the dogs, the chickens vanished without a trace. When investigators stepped deeper into the village, they began to feel something strange. The air buzzed faintly, like a power line humming just above their heads. The wind felt alive, charged, and the further they went, the heavier it became. The dogs they brought with them refused to go any farther. They whined, trembled, and pulled away from their handlers. The men reported a deep unease, the kind that makes your skin crawl before your brain even knows why. In the months that followed, Soviet officials offered explanation after explanation, each one more desperate than the last. Gas leak, they said, but no trace of toxins was ever found. Mass psychosis, but there were no records of any illness, no reason for 93 people to simply walk out into the freezing dark. Then came the theory whispered in secret, the one investigators were warned not to mention in their reports. Some believe Kirovsk 37 had been part of a classified military test zone. Residents in nearby villages spoke of strange lights in the sky the week before the disappearance. Bright white orbs that hovered silently over the trees. The lights, they said, made a sound, a low mechanical hum that vibrated through the ground, through walls, through bone. And when it stopped, everything went quiet. Too quiet. 30 years later, when the Iron Curtain began to fall, a team of journalists returned to the ruins of Kirovsk 37. By then, the place was nothing but splintered wood and snow-buried foundations. But in the remains of the old town hall, they found something extraordinary, a tape recorder wrapped in a Soviet flag. The tape was old and warped, but when restored, a single man's voice could be heard, trembling, gasping, whispering in Russian. "They're calling us. The lights, they're above the forest. They're closer this time." Then came the hum. Deep, metallic, growing louder until it filled the speakers, and then a single scream. The tape cut off at 2:13 a.m., the same time every clock in the village had stopped that night. After the discovery, the Russian government reclassified all documents related to Kirovsk 37. The coordinates were wiped from every public record. On modern satellite maps, the area appears as a blank patch of snow, but zoom in far enough, and you can still make out the faint shapes of rooftops beneath the ice, and a circular burn mark scorched deep into the earth. That same pattern has been found in 2 other Siberian locations, both also completely abandoned, both also erased from history. In 2018, 2 American urban explorers, a YouTube duo known for exploring lost Cold War sites, set out to find Kirovsk 37. Their final video begins like all the others. Shaky handheld footage, snow crunching under boots, their laughter echoing into the empty woods. They reach a clearing, what looks like a foundation buried in frost. "Dude," one of them whispers, "this must be it." Then the camera picks up something faint, a vibration in the air, like a low hum coming from nowhere and everywhere at once. It gets louder. The snow begins to tremble. The camera shakes violently. One of them screams, "Run!" Then a blinding white flash. The feed cuts to static. The video was uploaded at 3:12 a.m. Within an hour, it vanished. their channel disappeared. And so did they. Since then, locals claim they still hear the hum on cold nights. A deep, rhythmic vibration that rolls across the frozen plains. Some say it's the wind. Others say it's the villagers still out there somewhere in the snow, forever walking toward the sound that called them that night. A few hikers who've tried to locate the ruins claim their compasses spin wildly near the coordinates, that radios stop working, and that shadows move in the fog even when no one's there. A scientist once described it as a magnetic anomaly. A priest called it a wound in the world. Whatever it is, it doesn't want to be found. No one knows what really happened in Kirovsk 37, whether it was an experiment gone wrong, a mass delusion, or something not meant for human understanding. But one thing is certain, it's not truly gone, because every winter, when the snow falls silent and the wind dies, people say you can still hear that same low hum drifting through the pines. And if you listen closely enough, you can almost hear the voices beneath it, whispering, calling, inviting you to follow. Maybe the villagers didn't vanish. Maybe they just went somewhere else. Somewhere that still hums, quietly, endlessly, waiting for someone new to hear the call.